What's going on, everyone? John Matrix here. So as a lot of you in my channel know, I was able to get a early access key to Hunt Showdown back during its alpha phase, and I saw a lot of people were having problems with Hunt Showdown, so back then I made a general tips and tricks guide to help people out with the game to get into it and understand better how to play the game. And now with Hunt Showdown getting ready for its full release with the 1.0 patch, that guide is obviously quite out of date. So I decided to go back through and do a remaster and re-update that guide for 1.0. So this video is going to be more of a guide for beginners who aren't necessarily familiar with this game, but if you are a veteran, you might find a couple things that you weren't aware of. So in this video, I'm going to kind of give an overview of Hunt Showdown, what Quickplay is about, what Bounty Hunt mode is about, what the differences between them are, and go over some menu basics and a couple starter builds. So with that all being said, guys, we're just going to jump right into it.
Next to me, Achilles.
Got her.
Nice.
So we'll start off here at the main menu. You can see what current hunter you have selected. You can go down and modify him. From here, you can recruit a new hunter if you want to. See what your current hunter looks like. See what his health configuration is, whatever traits he has, and what his current equipment loadout is. After that, if you want to, you can go up to the store. See what all weapons you have unlocked if you want to buy any new weapons or equipment. See what current progress you have on unlocking any of the variants. You can head up to the consumables tab to see what consumables you can purchase, what tools you can purchase, and any legendary skins you wish to purchase. If you hit the bloodline tab at the main menu, you can see what your current bloodline rank is, and you can go through and see at what bloodline rank the various items, weapons, traits, etc. will unlock at. One of the newer and more unique features in Hunt Showdown 1.0 is the 3D viewer in the store screen. Just go to the store, pick a weapon, hit the 3D view button down at the bottom, and it'll bring up 3D view of whatever item you selected. Once in the 3D viewer, you can rotate the weapon to see what it looks like in a 3D space, and you can shoot the weapon to see what it sounds like. On top of that, probably the coolest feature, you can scroll your scroll wheel out to a distance of up to 1,000 meters, and you can hear what each individual weapon sounds like at the various distances. Great addition to the game. Any kind of FPS shooter with a large map like Hunt Showdown should have a feature like this added to it. If you want to look at new hunters to recruit, just simply hit the roster tab at the main menu, hit recruit hunter. This will give you a list of hunters available to you. You can reshuffle them if you have it available to you. One hunter is always free, and the rest of them will be a selection of hunters from tier 1 up to tier 3 once you get them unlocked. The Sole Survivor tab shows you hunters that you've won in Quickplay. There's a Legendary Hunters tab that shows you various hunter skins you can get. Back of the Recruits tab, you can see which free hunters and the various prices of the hunters that you need to buy and what all equipment they have available for them. Once you find a hunter you want, simply select them, double click them, or go down and hit the hire button down at the bottom of the screen. Once you've hired a new hunter, you'll be brought back to the roster screen, and you can see the various hunters you have available to you that you can take into the bounty hunt mode. On the Hunt Showdown 1.0 patch, they now have two weapon control schemes. One is called Gunslinger, and one is called Hunter. You can swap between the two under the Games tab in the options. The Hunter control scheme is the standard scheme that's been in the game from the very beginning. With this control scheme, you need to aim and then hold shift in order to ADS. This control scheme, you can simply hold down your primary attack weapon in order to melee when you're not aiming. Gunslinger is the new control scheme in the Hunt Showdown 1.0 patch. Using this mode, it puts you in the hipfire stance by default. When hitting the aim button, you will simply full ADS. The purpose of the Gunslinger mode is to add a more traditional FPS style into the Hunt Showdown. If you decide to use the Gunslinger control mode, make sure you go into key customization and bind a melee attack button, as the melee ability is separate from your primary fire being in a hipfire ready stance. Currently, there are two game modes in Hunt Showdown with which you can choose to play from the main menu screen at the lobby. The two modes are Quickplay and Bounty Hunt. Quickplay is a solo battle royale style game mode in Hunt Showdown that allows you to potentially come out of the game with a free hunter that has better starting gear and starting traits than a free hunter you would get from the recruit tab. In the Quickplay menu, you're able to choose from 4 starting loadouts, one being random, one being a low tier pistol, one being a low tier shotgun, and one being a low tier melee weapon. In Quickplay, you'll load into a game with a random low-tier weapon from whichever loadout you chose. You'll be competing against up to 10 or 12 other solo hunters. The overall objective in Quickplay is to be the last hunter remaining. This can be accomplished by simply killing everyone else, or if you claim the wellspring and hold it until the tickets run out. Various weapons, consumables, throwables are all scattered throughout the map for you to loot and add to your arsenal. If you find a resupply caravan out in the field, that's typically where all the high tier loot will spawn. The other objective in the quick play mode is to find 4 rifts, close them, and claim the wellspring for your own. Once the quick play game mode starts, you'll notice up at the top left corner of the screen a ticking countdown timer. This number represents 2 things in the quick play game mode. First, it represents the amount of time that's left in the game. Once this number hits 0, the game ends. Whoever has the wellspring claimed when this timer reaches 0 is the winner. Each of those tickets also represents money, so the quicker you get the wellspring and the longer you hold it, the more potential money you can earn in this game mode. As this is a solo BR style game mode, there is no boss in this game. You're only fighting against other hunters and the timer. As such, the clues in this game are called rifts. The rifts in quick play mode can be detected the same way that clues can be found in the bounty hunt mode by using dark sight. In order to obtain the wellspring, you need to be the first one to close 4 rifts. Each rift that you close in quick play mode will give you a random trait, so it is very advantageous to rush out and find as many rifts to close as quickly as possible so you can A, claim the wellspring, and B, get as many possible traits as you can. If you happen to claim the wellspring, and if you open the map, you'll notice that the map is closed down to a specific area. At this point, you cannot move out of this play area. If someone else claims the wellspring, you can open up the map and see where the hunter is located. You can also use dark sight, and the lightning strikes will give their general position. When close enough to the enemy combatant with the wellspring, use your dark sight, and you'll see a floating orange aura. This will give you a relative idea of where the enemy with the wellspring is located, but it does not give their exact location. If you manage to kill the person who's holding the wellspring, you then claim the wellspring for yourself. At that point, you just need to hold the wellspring until the timer hits 0, or you kill all the remaining combatants in the game. Overall, quick play is a great solo experience, and it's a great way to get a free hunter. It also gives you the opportunity to try certain endgame weapons you might be able to find in a match that you won't be able to unlock until later on at the end of the bloodline. The only real downside to quick play is if you lose your hunter and you lose your gear. However, you didn't pay for that hunter to begin with, you didn't pay for any of that gear to begin with, so nothing is really lost, but nothing is really gained. Currently in Hunt Showdown, there's no training mode, there's no shooting range for you to go and practice your weapon leading, so quick play environment also gives you an opportunity to go in, find some gear, and just run around and kill some zombies and practice your aim without losing anything. Bounty Hunt is the original game mode that's been in Hunt Showdown since its release in early access. This is a PvPvE game mode where you're competing against both the enemy AI and other enemy teams. The overall objective of this game mode is to get in, track down your bounty, kill it, banish it, extract, and keep enemy teams from doing the same.
At the reload.
Got him.
Nice.
Woo! Bounty Hunt is the game mode that is selected by default when you open Hunt Showdown. In Bounty Hunt mode, a random contract is selected by default. If you want to, you can select a specific bounty by going in and hitting the contract button, and it'll bring you to another screen where you can pick between whatever bounties are available for that day. Some contracts will only be available for 1 boss, some contracts will be available for 2 bosses, as well as different varying times of day and weather effects, such as dusk, nighttime, or foggy weather. Note that there is a small monetary bonus if you do select a random contract, as opposed to picking a specific one. You can queue into Bounty Hunt mode as a solo, you can queue with a duo partner, you can have the game randomly select a duo partner with you, or, as introduced in the 1.0 patch, you can now queue in teams of 3. If you want to, you can opt out of a 3-man queue if you don't have a third teammate and you just want to queue in as a duo or as a solo. If you opt out of the trio queue, you'll be up against 5 other teams of 2. If you do go into the trio queue, you'll be up against 4 other teams of 3. Once you get into the Bounty Hunt game mode, one of the first things you're going to want to do is open up your map. On the map screen, you can see the game time indicated at the top of the map. At the bottom left, you can see any daily challenges or weekly challenges you may have that you want to accomplish in the game. Just to the right of the map, you see an icon graph letting you know what the various icons on the map mean. And in this particular game that I queued into, this is a 2-boss contract. So as you can see, the map is split into 2 halves indicated by the red line. Once you get your bearings on the map, the next thing you're going to do is use your dark sense to locate your first clue. Clues give off a bright blue shine in your dark sense vision. The closer the clue, the brighter the shine will be. The further away the clue, the more dim it'll be. All the clues in the map are shared between all the teams in the game. So when you first find a clue, take a look at it real quick, and if you see an iced over effect on top of it, that indicates that no one else has found this clue yet. If instead the clue looks like it has a black hole on it, that indicates that an enemy team has been through here and has already found this clue, so be on the lookout for them. When approaching a clue, if you see that it's red, that indicates that an enemy team is in the general vicinity of the clue. When this happens, the clue also gives off a distinct sound, so if you're approaching a clue but don't have visual on it and you hear this noise, that's also an indication that an enemy team is nearby. Once you've found and absorbed the clue, you're going to want to open up your map again. You'll notice the map is updated and the gray areas indicate that the boss is not in those locations. Each boss on the map has 3 clues that you need to absorb in order to find its location on the map. Once you found its location, it's time to go to the boss and kill it. There are currently 3 different bosses in Hunt Showdown: the Spider, the Assassin, and the Butcher. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses. For example, the Butcher is immune to fire, while the Assassin is weak to melee damage. Once you've killed any of the bosses, you then go into the banishing phase. Simply approach the dead body of the boss and start the banish. Once you start the banish, it will give away your location on the map. People can also detect where a boss is being banished by using their dark sight, which will indicate a large vortex over the area of the banishing. Once you've started the banish phase, this is typically where you're going to want to go into defensive mode. In order to obtain the bounty, you need to wait for the banish phase to finish. However, being you started the banish phase, this is giving away your position and enemy teams will be closing in on you to claim the bounty for themselves. As such, you're going to want to hunker down, set up traps, and wait for enemy combatants to approach you and defend the bounty. While the banishing phase is going on, take this time to open up your map and locate where the extraction points on the map are, discuss with your team, and plan how you want to extract. Typically, the closest extract point is the one you're going to want to head for once you've got the bounty. However, enemy teams also know where those extraction points are, and they can set up ambushes, expecting you to go to those extract points. Aside from the XP and monetary rewards for finding, killing, and starting the banish on any of the bosses, the greatest benefit you have for hunting down and quickly finishing off a boss is any damage that you've taken or any health bars that you've lost will be replaced once you start the banish phase. Now that the banishing phase is completed, it's time to pick up your bounty and extract. Each boss will always drop 2 bounty tokens. Take note that as a solo player, you're only able to pick up 1 bounty token from each boss. And if you're in a trio team, only 2 members will be able to pick up a bounty token. However, all 3 of you will still get credit for extracting with the bounty. Once you pick up the bounty token, take note of the number at the bottom left-hand side of the screen. When you have a bounty token, your dark sight is enhanced, allowing you to see enemy combatants within a certain radius around you. So once you picked up a bounty token, you're going to want to use your dark sight, do a quick 360 spin, see if there's any enemies around you in your general vicinity. Also be aware that because you're carrying the bounty token, your position is also being given away to any enemy teams. When an enemy team uses their dark sight, they can see your relative position being given away by lightning strikes. At this point, you can use the advantage the enhanced dark sight gives you to track down the enemy teams that are near you and kill them, or simply head for an extraction, extract your bounty, and reap the rewards. Just be mindful about using your enhanced dark sight. It is not an infinite resource. As you use your enhanced dark sight, that number in the bottom left-hand screen will decrease. Once it hits 0, your enhanced dark sight will be gone and you'll be back to normal dark sight. Audio cues play a major role in Hunt Showdown. If you hear a spooked horse, ducks, crows, dogs in a kennel, chickens in a kennel, or aggroed zombies, chances are other enemy players are nearby. Every dog kennel and chicken coop in a compound has a lantern that sits above them. Shooting the lantern is a quick way to kill the animals inside. However, if there are enemy teams nearby, it will give away your position. Currently, there are 3 negative status ailments in Hunt Showdown: poison, bleeding, and burning. The duration of the poison effect, it obscures your hearing and vision and prevents you from being able to heal. You can use an antidote shot if you have one to counteract the effects of poison, or simply wait for the status effect to wear off. Hives, hive bombs, hive barrels, poison arrows, the spider boss are just a few of the things in game that can cause the poison status ailment. Bleeding is the most common status ailment in the game. While bleeding, your HP will slowly drop down until you stop the bleeding effect. To stop the bleeding, simply hold down the use button until the bleeding stops. Bladed weapons, shotguns, hellhounds, the assassin, numerous things in this game will cause the bleeding status ailment. Burning is the most dangerous status ailment in the game in my opinion, as it will keep burning away your maximum health until the bar is gone or you stop the burning. Just like with poison, hold down the use button and put yourself out. If a bar gets burnt away, you cannot regain this bar unless you banish the boss or you spend trait points to purchase a new health bar at the recruit screen. If you manage to stop the burning effect before a bar burns completely away, eventually the health of that bar will regenerate itself over time. So you're just starting off in the game, you haven't ranked up anything yet, so your options are pretty limited. So right now for your first build, I'm going to recommend you grab a Romero 77 shotgun as your primary weapon. Your secondary weapon, you're going to grab the Nagant 1895 pistol, as it's the only pistol available to you at the moment. Then you're going to grab a knife as your melee tool. Then you're going to want to grab yourself a med kit and a couple of weak vit shots. This is your most versatile build that you're going to have starting off at ranked 1. The Romero 77 shotgun is going to give you good stopping power at close range, while still having the pistol as a backup weapon to allow you to shoot people at a greater distance. Use your knife to melee any of the zombies that are attacking you, and you've got med kits and vit shots to heal yourself if you need to heal. The real negative to this build this early on is the fact that you're using your pistol as a ranged weapon. It has a little bit more scope sway than the Winfield Compact does, so it may be a little harder for you to aim. And being that a shotgun is your primary weapon, you're going to have to get up close and personal in order to use it more effectively, which also puts you at risk from being killed from other people with shotguns. Your next option for builds at this early stage is to simply replace the Romero with the Winfield Compact. The advantage of the Winfield is it has steadier aim than the Nagant pistol, so any fights downrange you're going to have more accuracy. It does have a slower rate of fire, and any kind of close range fights, especially against someone with a shotgun, you're going to be at a severe disadvantage. So if you go in with the Winfield, you're going to want to make sure you keep fights at a distance. Personally though, once you hit rank 6 in your bloodline, you're going to unlock the Vertelli Carbiner, and I would replace the Winfield with the Vertelli as it's a much better overall rifle earlier in this game. Also as a side note, if you come to a game with two weapons that use the same ammo type, such as the Winfield's Compact here and the Nagant pistol, which both use compact ammo, the ammo count will stack, giving you more overall reserved ammo than if you were to come into the game with two weapons that use two different ammo types. As with any competitive shooter, you're going to run into enemy people, and you're going to need to fight them and kill them in order to survive and win the game.
Hit him. Right here, holy fuck.
Down one.
Got the other one.
Any enemy combatants that you kill, you can go and loot their bodies with a chance of getting money, ammunition, health charges, or grenades restocked, as well as being able to swap out any of your weapons for any weapons that they were carrying. Keep in mind that you will only be able to keep any money you find on enemy players that you've killed if you extract with your hunter alive. So if you happen to be lucky enough to loot $1,000 off an enemy dead body, you might want to go ahead and head for an extract.
I had a little more. Yeah. One sec.
Alright, well I got a vet shot back and some money. Alright, well that about wraps it up for the basics of the game. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. I hope for people who are newer to the game, this helps you guys out. Feel free to use the comments to let me know what you thought about the video, what you think I did good about the video, other things you think I could have added to the video, what you'd like to have seen me done differently in the video. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. If you didn't enjoy the video, feel free to leave a dislike. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to support the channel. If you want to support me, you can follow me over at Twitter at JohnMatrix69. I also live stream on Twitch over at twitch.tv/JohnMatrix69. Feel free to stop by there whenever you see me on. Say hello. Always enjoy meeting new people. And thanks again for checking out the video, guys. And I will see you on the next one.
Almost fully reloaded and then I could fucking...
Fuck off, Mr. Butcher guy. Oh, I got him. Let's watch that last bit. Sweet.
Nice. Do you guys have any dark side time left?
I don't. I used all mine in that fight.